Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at a no item run versus the 3 great Saiyans, and basically seeing the team I use, talking a bit about the event, and obviously taking everything on. Now firstly, in terms of the Blue Zone or Magnificent Spectacle, I'm going to be honest, they weren't as hard as I thought they would be, especially the movie edition really was not as difficult as anticipated. Obviously the new units are very good, but the event definitely does not feel as hard as the previous events that have come out. Maybe that's because of the content, maybe that's because of the flattening of the scale, but basically I think, realistically speaking, it's probably a combination of both. That's always like how these things end up being. So basically, to cut a long story short, I think overall, looking at everything and kind of looking at the team that we're using, I think this team is obviously probably one of the most premier teams in the game. Uncontrollable slash movie bosses slash whatever team you want to build out of it is a very strong category. We have a lot of really capable supports in this team. We have a lot of really premium defensive units, and we have, of course, really solid damage as well on top of that from all of them. So all in all, it's a very strong team. I will say it performs incredibly well. I do really like it. I think ultimately it gets the job done quite well. So I am pretty happy with the functionality of the team. But before we talk about the individual units, let's talk pretty much around the event. So you start out facing AGL, Super Saiyan Goku. He is able to do 1 million in damage. He's immune to stunning, immune to sealing, immune to attack and defense reduction. He's relatively tanky, but he's not anything too crazy. Things then ramp up a little bit in the second phase. You're facing Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Super Saiyan Trunks Teen. Again, 1.4 million. They can do something very interesting, where essentially they can fire up to 3 supers per turn, which is very different. So they can catch you quite by surprise. Although it only feels like a 1.4 million super, they can literally fire 3 of them in a row. So it can be very difficult to kind of deal with that level of damage. So it's not something that's easy to deal with. I do think overall it is definitely something that you could consider being quite tough to deal with. So there is that concept. Of course, you can now seal them. So although they do get stronger every turn, although they can fire multiple super attacks, sealing them is definitely a good method of controlling their level of damage that they can output. It's something that really helps you with managing that really overwhelming level of damage that it feels that they can do. Then finally we have the third phase, which is against Int, Super Saiyan Goku. He greatly raises his defense for 1 turn. He fires a 1.652 million damage super attack. He gets defense of 6% with every single attack received, and he also reduces damage below a certain threshold. He's quite tanky, but where he really causes you issues is by the fact that he's guaranteed to super every single turn and he has 1 attack. So it's honestly, like, what I can say is, of course he's going to super, so you can kind of just place your super tanky unit in the way. Now in terms of the uncontrollable power slash movie bosses team that we're running, I think overall we have a very nice team. So talking specifically around the concept of like tankiness, so you can see this is a movie bosses team. So where this team is really shining the most is in the power of the double Tech Broly. Tech Broly as a unit is a very powerful unit. He's really strong. He guards, he has damage reduction. He's very powerful individually. And so he's a really good, strong, capable unit that we can use as a double first art tank for us. On top of that as well, we use the physical Easy Age Janemba to also operate as a tank. Very good, also excellent damage in this final phase against Goku, really putting out the big numbers. We then have the Int Broly, Legendary Super Saiyan, a great Allah that provides a ton of support and utility capability to the team. So basically he gives us a ton of support, a really strong candidate from that perspective, giving us a really good foundation in terms of just overall output, damage, and obviously we have the capabilities of using his really strong active skill to create obviously additional damage for ourselves. We then have of course Cell Max alongside Janemba, just a fun combo to run together. Janemba is a great first slot tank once he's fully built up, and the strength of Cell Max in the early rounds really lets Janemba do so. Cell Max can tank early on, then Janemba can kick in and do a fantastic job. Cell Max as well obviously then fades off a little bit defensively, preferring the second slot, but Janemba can take over. The two of them share big bad bosses and enough links to make it a very fun combination, and of course fulfill each other's passive requirements. So the two of them are honestly probably the most fun combo, or one of the nice combos you can put together, although I do prefer Janemba with Buhan, just personally. Of course, on top of that, looking at everything, I will say that I do really like the strength legendary Super Saiyan Broly. I think his output in terms of damage is really good. I think his support capabilities are really good, and once he gets going, he's quite solid defensively. Of course, the stray super attack can catch him off guard, especially early on, but just what he brings to the team is really solid. So overall, we actually do great. We don't really have any major issues. Of course, we brought the Tech Broly. Tech Broly honestly does a pretty impressive job, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's really quite solid. You can reduce Goku's attack, and because of that, you can trigger his full passive, which is pretty cool to do. So it's quite fun to be able to run Broly and have him, really kind of knuckle down and do some really big damage with that really impressive active skill. But unfortunately, we don't see it here. We don't have to, because the team handles everything more than fine. But yeah, I would say for me overall, this was a really fun event. The team obviously is excellent. They handle this event very easily. So yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, I think this is pretty damn good. But yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.